As y'all may know, I was supposed to talk about this yesterday, but it's cool though. 2 days ago, I finished Welcome to Derry. Alright, if y'all not finished that, I suggest y'all mute this part. I finished Welcome to Derry, by the way. Top 5 shows I watched this year. Just saying. Top 5 shows I watched this year. It got me more interested. It got me back interested, I want to say, into the It-verse. Because at first, when I first watched it, I was interested in seeing the movie. But I didn't really care too much because I didn't think too hard of it. But now that I see the background lore of it, that's where it's like, okay, yeah, this shit hard. This stuff is hard. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but every time I do these top of tier lists, bruh, let's see if they pop up. Horror movies, ranking horror movies I could easily survive, but I'm being 100% honest. Horror movies I can... Now, I don't know
about me, bruh.
If I put...
Only reason...
Did I put Pennywise in here? Was Pennywise in here?
Oh, no,
One of them Pennywise is in. I did this video a couple of times.
3 days? Oh, yeah. Nigga, what time do you go to sleep?
One of these, I did these a couple of times, bro.
It is, bro.
But I don't think Pennywise is in that one. One of them Pennywise is in. One of them Pennywise is in. I just want to see what did I put Pennywise at. Do I have a tier list? Please tell me I have a tier list. Thing. I don't know if I do, bro. Do I have a tier list? A tier list playlist? I don't think I do. I'm not even gonna check for that. F that. I'm not even gonna check. Alright, come on. Let me find it. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Let me find it real quick, bro. Let me find it. Fighting villains, blind ranking this, blind ranking that. Jigsaw trap. Cartoon character haircut. Nah. Video game characters. Which one's the horror movie one? Here we go. Horror movie characters I can beat, but it's a speed run. I ain't gonna lie. You Nexer had to beat your shit, Lee? Excuse me?
Not because I'm scared.
Alright, let's just skip a little ahead, bro. Let's skip a little ahead. I just want to see a Pennywise where I rank this nigga. I know he's somewhere on this list. I know he's somewhere on this list, bro. I know that nigga is somewhere on this list. I see him with that big balloon. Could take me 3 hours, but I'll do it. Now, I'm gonna be completely 100% honest here. Let's kind of switch things up a little bit. Okay, now that I know the lore about this nigga, now what I see what this nigga has done. He could throw me in genjutsus. He could put me in all types of shit. Now, if I'm in a Dick Hanlon type of genjutsu where I'm low-key stuck in a genjutsu, my nigga, I might be fried, but at the end of the day, he still lost the kids, though. Let's just be honest. In the stone shit, as long as I run into them Indian tribe niggas, which I hope I do, as long as I run into them Indian tribe niggas and they tell me what I possibly have to do, they told me Pennywise sleeps in the day. The nigga sleeps in the day. The entity sleeps in the day. So during that whole day, nigga, me and the Indian tribe niggas, we can just go out, get the stone, you feel me, and we should be good. But that nigga is crazy though, so I'm not gonna lie. He still might take me the fuck out. He still might take me the fuck out. But, hey, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, bruh. Yeah, he might just take me out. I'm just put it like that. The nigga's tough. The nigga is tough, bro. So now that leaves me back here. And I got a couple things I gotta talk about. Now, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, because we're gonna break things down real quick, okay? We are here to break shit the fuck all the way down, nigga. Season 1 ended, bro. Season 1 ended. I'm gonna let him explain. I'm not gonna explain everything that happened in the season. If I explain, that's just gonna be a long ass explain. I'm pretty sure he can break this shit down way faster than me.
An epic battle between good and evil.
Nigga sound like a narrator for a goddamn Dragon Ball Z episode, bruh.
requesting a DNA test, and the most terrifying school assembly since Subway Jared visited my school. Seriously, that happened. This massive deep dive is going to answer all your burning questions from that epic
I got a
final
lot of
reveal,
questions, bro.
Marge's son Richie, and how our very
And is Marge the only mother? Yes. Spoiler alerts if y'all are in here. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm spoiling y'all niggas. Spoiler alert, Marge is Richie's mother. Marge is Richie's mother from the movie. That little nigga with the big old glasses in the movie. Yes. His mom is Marge. His mom is Marge, the girl that cut her eyes out. His mom is Marge. And she did name her son after the nigga that died in the show, Rich. So letting y'all know that right now.
understanding of the
But I'm pretty sure that
universe
wasn't that
will
hard to
change
understand,
with
though, if y'all see.
time travel?
Time travel.
That's the thing I'm questioning, though. This nigga can see the past. He's Aaron Yeager, my nigga. This nigga Pennywise is dead-ass Aaron Yeager. He can see the past, the future, and the present. All at the same time. He knows who beat him, but he knows if he could stop the kids that beat him's grandparents, then he'll probably live on forever. Right? But wouldn't that technically mean he lost in every universe, even if they didn't kill him? Wouldn't that mean he lost in the past, the present, and the future? If the losers clubs like the It movie niggas killed him off, doesn't that mean he lost in every single chapter of it? But if he dies, he said that's his birth also, or some shit. So at the same time, bro, I'm so confused. I was confused. I'm gonna let him talk.
Okay, maybe not that crazy,
I need a little
but
bit
we'll
more
talk
explaining.
about it. There's also this photo that's been making people go insane on Twitter.
I ain't gonna lie.
found the source, I know if it's real, and we'll talk about that too. If you've liked my breakdowns this season, leave a red balloon in the comments and make sure to like.
Chat, if Pennywise was after you, who are the other 3 niggas you grabbing, bro? Because he always comes after like 4 or 5 kids. He always comes after at least 4 or 5 kids and their ancestors. Like those specific kids out of the whole shit. You, see, Barney, you know. Me, Barney, Shots, and Quan TV, you think we taking down Pennywise? Yes or no? Come on. I think we could damn do it. It doesn't matter how many mind tricks he plays on us. It doesn't matter how many genjutsus he puts on us. I think we could damn do it, bruh.
And subscribe.
As long as we know what we gotta do, we just gotta run into them Indian tribe niggas. They said we gotta grab the little daggers that they're buried in trees all across the Derry. We gotta find those daggers, dig them up. By the way, Pennywise sleeps in the fucking daytime, gang. Well, he can still mess with niggas in the day. His entity can. But he specifically sleeps in the daytime.
uncovering Fallout and Stranger
Come on,
Things,
bro.
so unlike my ex-girlfriend, you'll want to stick around. The name of this episode, Winter Fire, was penned by Derry's favorite poet, Ben Hanscom, from It Chapter 1. Winter Fire being a nod to his crush Beverly Marsh's hair, with the cold fog freezing the Penobscot River and last week's Black Spot
This
Fire.
shit was
The
crazy.
title's fusion of
Episode
cold
7
and
is
fire
OD.
takes on an even more chilling
R.P.
meaning.
Rich,
In
my
the
nigga.
episode,
Wet
waste no
ass.
time getting right into the action.
That shit
A
felt-
mysterious fog envelops
But that shit was racial. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know why I said that shit felt racist. That shit was racist. They seen a whole group of black niggas in one crowd, all them white niggas in masks, bruh. They said, "Oh yeah, this black man messing around with a white girl. He messing around with our white girl." Yeah, they burned the whole place down. They killed anybody and anybody around it.
the town,
They
and
was trying
bonus
to at
points
least.
if you caught
Not
this
everybody
baby
died.
carriage being flung down the
R.P.
street.
Rich, though.
Last episode, we saw General Francis Shaw reveal his true intentions with the cosmic entity known as
Barney,
Galoo.
you would be the nigga that they would literally, bro. Do you not understand, bro, Barney? I know your type, son. You will be the freaky ass motherfucker around this time in 19 whatever year this was. Wait, they said Pennywise come back every 27 years. So 27 no, not divided. 27 minus 88 is 54 or some shit. Barney, we know you, family. I know your type, man, and that's okay. Especially nowadays, it's okay. It's lucky that you're born nowadays in this century, in this generation. Because 1958, you try doing that shit, sneaking around, cheating on your wife with a white woman, and they caught you, and you're a quote-unquote felon, quote-unquote,
Was originally
61 dude now. But you get the damn gist, motherfucker. You get caught, nigga, and you're partying with me? They gonna burn the whole place down. They ain't just gonna come for you. They gonna burn the whole shit down. They don't give a fuck who's in there. The only person they saved was the girl. Was the white lady. That's the only person they saved.
Thought that Shaw planned to
And it's crazy because she literally is not, bro, they act like it's the fact like he forced her to like cheat or some shit. The nigga literally, bro, it was a mutual agreement. It was a mutual agreement. They found each other. He was running from the police. He was in the back of her car and shit. When she was about to drive off, she drove into the forest because she was like, oh, I gotta say, damn. We got a little issue here. I ain't gonna lie, bro. My damn desk got stuck, bro. This shit got stuck in place.
paying Galoo to
couldn't even
weaponize it
open it,
against
bruh.
the Russians. This is the height of the Cold War, after all. But
I
Shaw
couldn't even open
reveals
that
to
shit.
Leroy Hamlin an even more terrifying plan. He doesn't want to unleash it on Russia. He wants to set it loose on America itself, believing the country has lost its way, and the only thing that can get people back in line is fear. And what better thing to get Americans back on the straight and narrow than a sadistic child-killing clown? Francis
Yeah,
Shaw had
right?
first-hand experience with Galoo back in 1908, when he had a run-in with it in the form of the Skeleton Man. This
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's just release Pennywise into every single state, right? Right? And that's just gonna set America back right again, Francis. That was your big plan? That's your bright idea, motherfucker?
Galoo back in 1908, when he had
I
a
hate
run-in
dumb
with
niggas,
it
bro.
in the form of
Dumb
the
niggas.
Skeleton Man. This is the same day Francis saw young Periwinkle in her clown outfit, which suggests this is the night before Galoo kills Bob Gray and takes on the Pennywise persona. The fog is also a metaphor for fear
That
itself.
would be go pop.
Fear. It settles on every living person it touches like a fog.
I'll be
You
damn
know
damn. I
that
see
Galoo
Pennywise at
feeds
my
off
damn
fear,
doorstep.
and Welcome to Derry does a great
Got me
job
fucked
on
up.
explaining how it's the single
You know for a
greatest
damn fact you see
contributor
Pennywise at
on
your
whether or
doorstep.
not Pennywise
You don't know
kills
what the
its
hell you damn
victims.
doing.
There have been many
You taking out
times,
the
not
trash and
just
you
in
see him
Welcome
right
to
as-
Derry, where
right across the
Pennywise
street.
could have killed the kids, but didn't.
You gonna walk
Will
back in your
Hamlin
house.
theorizes that it
But
can
when you try to
smell
walk
the
back in your
fear in
house,
our
your door is
blood.
locked.
Fear caused by
And no one's
heightened
answering the
levels
door.
of adrenaline and cortisol.
What you doing?
In fact, we'll
You
see
fucked.
Pennywise smell Francis Shaw and state,
I never forget a smell.
this is how he knows he's that kid from decades ago. His victims need to have just the right level of fear.
We
for
can
to
talk
be
it out.
consuming. And if they haven't reached that,
Yo, BP, listen. My name Calvin. Nice to meet you. Now, listen, man. I don't got no problems with you. You don't got no problems with me. I really feel like we could be a great team, you know? Listen. I see the good in you. I see the good in your heart. You tapping that nigga chest. I see the good in your heart. I know deep down somewhere you're a great fucking guy. Nigga, as soon as you do that, you already inside the nigga mouth. You already done. You already dead. You already inside the nigga mouth, bruh, trying to talk it out with that nigga. You can't just talk it out with that nigga. That nigga not just gonna let you talk it out.
threshold, he lets them go.
Trust me, and I would have said, me 3 months ago, I would have said I would have tried talking it out with the nigga. I would have tried. That nigga even put his own daughter in a genjutsu, my nigga.
to let that fear build.
Pennywise, you gotta think. The nigga that played Pennywise or the nigga that started off as Pennywise was a regular nigga at first. That just liked having the clown persona. The entity that's inside Pennywise that took over the dude is a demon. It's a devil. It's a devilish entity, my nigga.
Think of it like
They don't give a
fishing.
damn
We
who
love
the heck.
fishing on this show. If you catch something and it's too small, you let it go until it's bigger. It hasn't been long since the tragedy of the black spot, an event the indigenous refer to as an augury. These occur once every 27 years in line with Galoo's feeding cycle, and mark his final bloody last hurrah before going into hibernation. In 1962, it was the Black Spot, 35, the Bradley Gang Massacre, and 08, the Kitchener Ironworks Fire, which,
Damn.
if you look closely, you can see Pennywise's wagon there in the intro credits. With this year's augury complete,
wasn't really paying
Pennywise
attention
had
too hard to
already
those things.
settled in for his 27 years' sleep, but the destruction of the pillar awoke him from his slumber. This pillar is one of 13 fragments taken from the comet which imprisoned Galoo. This comet crash-landed in Derry millennia ago, where the entity fed off the creatures of the land.
Them niggas was so retarded though for that. I ain't gonna lie, you military niggas were the stupidest niggas of all time for that, bro. Deadass. The nigga was already asleep for 27 years, and y'all gonna wake the nigga up. Y'all are going to wake the nigga up out of his slumber because y'all wanted to destroy the pillars? Are you fucking dumb? Like, are you...
Is one of
niggas
13
idiots?
fragments taken
ass,
from the
bro.
comet which imprisoned Galoo. This comet crash-landed in Derry millennia ago, where the entity fed off the creatures of the land. However, animals weren't enough to strengthen Galoo, which would allow him to expand beyond its borders. He needs that sweet, sweet human fear. When the indigenous arrived, they quickly learned how this thing operates. Rather than fight it, they would starve it with the one thing it so desires, fear, opting to stay out of its territory so could never grow.
Hey, man.
This all
I put
changed,
the- I put
however,
the
with
word
the
in for y'all
arrival of
DEO
the
niggas. I was
settlers.
like-
White people,
Yeah,
right?
at first he wasn't going
With a
straight to
constant
2026,
supply
but I
of
put the
fresh
word in, bro.
bodies,
I
Galoo's
put the word
power
in.
grew. So in an effort to contain it, they buried
put the word
13
in,
of
bruh.
these pillars, essentially imprisoning the entity within the confines of Derry. General Shaw knows of this legend from Rose, who he
welcome.
befriended as a child. When he moved away from Derry, he forgot all about it, as the longer you spend outside Derry, the less you remember. It was only when he was given an experimental drug from the Department of Defense that these memories...
I don't give a fuck. How long is Derry, Maine from my house? I say, fuck it. LSQ next house is in Derry, Maine. Let's go. Nigga, that's in Canada? I thought, what? Nigga. I thought Maine. Maine City, Derry. Derry's a real city in Maine, right? You know what? Never mind. Don't even, no one even say nothing.
flooded back, heightened
I'm
further
not even gonna
upon
say nothing
returning
about
to town. His mission is to
I thought it was based on a real... I thought Derry was a real place in Maine, bro. Does that not sound like a real place? Bro.
track these pillars and destroy them, allowing the entity to feed on the fear of America. In episode 7,
like-
he basically
like Atlanta,
states
bro.
this is a necessary evil to
ATL.
keep the
What about
nation
that TV
together.
show?
Aiding in this effort is Dick Halloran. Yes, the same Dick
You can believe some
Halloran
shit
from
that
The
be in TV
Shining.
sometimes,
He has
bro.
a slew of telekinetic powers, including psychometry.
We gotta watch. I gotta go lie. We gotta watch The Shining, bro. We gotta see this nigga's story play out, cause this nigga is in The Shining.
Keep the nation together. Aiding in this effort
Show,
is
movie,
Dick Halloran.
nigga, I don't
Yes,
give a
the
fuck.
same
Video
Dick
game, I don't
Halloran
care.
from The Shining. He has a
Everything
slew
has
of
some real
telekinetic
life references.
powers, including psychometry, the ability to see events, memories, or information by touching objects. This is how he first connected with Galoo in episode 3 by touching the slingshot that attacked it. He can also see the dead. His second encounter with Galoo saw him relive the trauma of his abusive grandfather. At the age of 9, Dick's grandmother, who also shared these abilities, taught him something called the lockbox technique, a way to compartmentalize and lock away all one's traumas, fears, and even dead spirits. It was Galoo who reopened this box, unleashing this trauma and making Dick see the dead. After the Black Spot Massacre,
boy Dick
Dick
was
uses
dead.
this
Tripping.
ability to see the dead to follow Seski, one of
Dick
the
was the
local
goat, though. I
tribe's
ain't gonna lie,
great
he MVP of
leaders
the
who was
show.
buried
For sure.
alongside one of the pillars. That's how the military was able to acquire
Dick
and
the Rich.
destroy a pillar, essentially creating a
Nah,
way
Dick.
for Pennywise to escape its prison. At the end of episode
going
7,
Dick,
Pennywise
New
senses
Leroy,
that the
the
barrier
Rich.
has fallen, and thus begins his deadly march
Nah,
to free
Dick,
himself
Rich,
from
Leroy.
Derry for good. We'll see this fog destroy the leaves and freeze the river. Here's a creepy-looking woman with one of Pennywise's red balloons floating in the reflection. The fog provides a perfect smokescreen for Pennywise's target, Derry High School. He commandeers the school's PA system to gather the younger students. Kids have always been the perfect victim for Pennywise. They're easier to manipulate.
Nigga,
Plus,
pedo.
you always need a snack when going on a road trip. If you flip this shot around, you can make out a list of names on the principal's desk. These are crew from the show, with executive producer and director Andy
The only
Muschietti
difference
at the
between
top.
this nigga, he just
I
loves
love this quick shot
killing
of the
niggas.
Derry High
Nah,
School
nah, yeah, he
mascot,
just-
the Trappers. Not only are the
My fault,
kids
Pennywise.
and
I ain't gonna say too
Pennywise
much about
trapped,
you.
but it harkens back
you
to
are a
Derry's
weirdo.
history as an early colonial settlement. One of the earliest recorded auguries in Derry occurred in 1741, when an
Damn.
entire settlement of 300 people simply vanished without a trace. This is a dark parallel with what happens.
Now There's something behind those chicken sandwiches we don't know about either, though. You know, every time Illuminati talk about them chicken sandwiches, every time children and kids go missing, a new chicken sandwich comes out. Big question is, how did they go missing? That's the biggest question now. That's a real question that has not been asked. Everybody always worried about the chicken sandwich part after that. No one ever asked, how did they go missing? Now, I'm not the type of guy to sit here and point fingers. But for a mass to go missing, for a mass of them to go missing like this, it be having me think sometimes, bro. Is there something out there like this, my nigga?
To the kids, as soon the standpipe will be filled with missing persons posters. Fun fact, a lot of the names on these posters are crew members from the show. Everyone's favorite mean girl, Patty of the Patty Cakes, brings up Teddy Uris and Maddie Clements when mentioning which of their classmates would have the ugliest babies. Although Teddy never made it to adulthood, his brother Donald, who we briefly see in episode 1, goes on to become the father of Stanley Uris.
Oh! He did live out his life. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's Donald. Okay, that's fire.
Of the losers.
Do we see? One thing I want to know, like, we gotta remember certain things. At the end of episode 8, right? Marge said specifically that their kids are going to be the niggas to beat Pennywise. Their kids. As she's talking to Lily. So who's Lily's daughter or son?
Club. Principal Dunleavy, who we saw briefly in episode 2.
Who is that? I know Mike's Will's son. Who's Ronnie's son or daughter? You feel me? Who is all of those people? Because now I'm curious. If they're saying their, quote unquote their, not just mine, their. I gotta know the correlation. Well, we know Donald. That's the father of Stanley. He's part of the Losers Club.
Who, with his stupendous toupee, is propped up like a puppet in one of Pennywise's most gruesome kills. Pennywise will even serenade us with a song, which is funny considering his daughter Ingrid, at the end of the episode, tells the Juniper Hill staff how much her dad loved to sing. This stage is a combination of the original back in 1908 and the one in his lair when he performs for Beverly in '89. I love the little detail of time to float instead of time.
That's interesting. I ain't gonna lie, that's interesting. It's like his shit just got more dark and dark.
Time to dance.
Time to dance, time to float. And next you know, that motherfucker just... He on some devious shit here.
We've never seen Pennywise harness as much power as in...
But this nigga more devious than this nigga. This nigga more devious than this nigga. I'm sorry. It's like he was moving in his prime in this shit.
Time to dance. We've never
I don't know if it was the blood on his face, but that nigga
Pennywise
was moving in his
harness
prime.
as much power as in
He
this
was in his
episode.
prime,
With
bro.
all this
Deadass.
fog
I
and
ain't gonna lie.
headlighting multiple children at once, he knows this is his one big shot at
His
freedom,
one-liners,
and nothing
everything.
is going to stop him. The deadlights are when Galoo shows his true form with these 3 floating orbs. It puts his victims in a sort of catatonic state in which they experience terrors beyond our imagination. Or reruns of The Big Bang Theory.
Bazinga!
Lily, Ronnie, and Marge have been on their own journeys this season. Lily getting over the death of her father, Ronnie trying to keep her father out of jail, and Marge finding who she is and who her friends are. She spent most of this season trying to fit in with the popular kids, even throwing her own friends under the bus to do so. It's no wonder then that her final speech at Rich's funeral is all about what makes a true friend. This March of Death is one of my favorite shots of the episode, as this scene is heavily influenced by the story of the Pied Piper. In most interpretations of the story, the Piper leads the children with his instrument into a river to drown or back to his cave. A cave is the background of Pennywise's stage. In one particular version, it's 3 children who stay behind and end up informing the adults and saving the day. Kind of like our 3 kids. Knowing that Will and their friends have been taken by Pennywise, they decide to go after him, armed with Sesky's ancient dagger, which Lily has held on to since her foray into the sewers. This dagger is composed of the same material which imprisoned Galoo, and acts as both a weapon and shield of sorts, keeping the entity at bay. They're already way behind, and thus Marge hijacks a milk truck to catch up. There's something oddly satisfying about a Derry truck being used in the town of Derry. By the way, this truck has been seen in the background of several episodes. After getting a frightening call from Pennywise stating that he has his son, Leroy Hanlon goes full Liam Neeson and enlists the help of Dick. That sounded weird. It's interesting to note that in this call, Leroy threatens Pennywise, stating that if he harms his son, he'll rip out his heart. It will be his grandson Mike, 54 years later, that will kill Pennywise by ripping out his heart. But back to Dick. He's not been doing so great since...
Good fucking shit, Mike. Good shit. Good fucking shit,
Pennywise
Mike.
by
Good
ripping out his heart. But back to Dick.
Good shit.
He's not been doing so great since the black spot. In fact, he's on the brink of killing himself with the onslaught of undead all around him. It's kind of ironic that the alcohol influencing his decision is called
10 out of 10.
Granddad, when it was his granddad who started much of his trauma to begin with. Leroy pleads to Dick, asking for his help to get his son. Dick's powers might be the only thing to track Will, and ultimately he agrees to help. We'll see the fog creep along the river toward the old deadwood tree. This is the same tree Nakani and her friends passed when they went to retrieve the pillars hundreds of years ago. Rose says it stood there long before her ancestors, and that it's the furthest point that the dagger's energy can still connect with the other pillars to restore the cage. Once Pennywise reaches beyond that tree, it's game over. In this map, we'll see how the pillars form these concentric circles to form one big ring surrounding Derry.
Because I ain't gonna lie. After Leroy shot this nigga, bro, and he ran out of bullets again. After he shot them, bro, the other niggas were just dead ass standing there. I'm glad fucking, I don't know what the fuck happened. Dick seen it all. Rich came back from the dead. Well, he come back from the
linking
dead,
the energies of these pillars to form this barrier. And it only takes one of them to be destroyed in order for it to fail. Kind of like if you had a prison cell, but one of the bars was removed so you could get out. The plan to stop Galoo involves getting that dagger to the deadwood tree before Pennywise can pass. The dagger would act like one of those pillars, refortifying the barrier and trapping Galoo once and for all. But they don't know where that dagger is, and this is where Dick comes in. By giving him a tea made of Maturin root, Rose says that she can stop the voices in his head. Maturin root was the same root Mike used in It Chapter 2 to give Bill his psychedelic vision that allows the losers to perform the Ritual of Chud, a ritual the losers believe will destroy Pennywise for good. In the Stephen King universe, Maturin is one of the most powerful and ancient entities, serving as a force of benevolence.
Flying turtle? I ain't gonna lie, Stephen King got a wild imagination, bro. Dead ass, bro. So this turtle is the reasoning for at least 75% of shit that really goes on in the Stephen King universe. He like me for real. Yeah? I ain't gonna lie. Barney, as many things as you say in this chat, if you was to put that shit in a book, you might just be a billionaire, bro. If you were to put that shit in an ebook or some bullshit, or put it somewhere in a script, you might just be a millionaire,
Ritual the losers believe will destroy Pennywise for good. In the Stephen King universe, Maturin is one of the most powerful and ancient entities, serving as a force of benevolence and order, a sort of counter to Galoo. He's often represented as a turtle. There have been little nods to Maturin throughout the series, from Lily's turtle bracelet, Bert the Turtle, and even the Turtle Carnival game back in 1908. By drinking the tea, it connects Dick to the Macroverse, the realm where Galoo hails. But as Rose states, not all things there are evil, hinting at Maturin. Marge's future as a milkmaid gets off to a rocky start when she crashes the truck. We'll see the company, Fremlin Dairy, named after David Fremlin, one of the set designers on the show. Lily does her best Bilbo Baggins.
I'm just trying to figure out whose kid is kid. How did that person die? I heard. All right, I know Will in the future. Man, we don't got no meat. Hey, bro, you better DoorDash you some meat, man. You better DoorDash some meat, some Uber Eats the meat, bro. Stores, you got. Actually, it's 10 o'clock, gang. I don't know what I can say for real. I don't know if you got too much time in the world. I don't know if you got too much time in the world to be doing all that.
You're hoarding the dagger for herself. The truck.
Unless y'all
stores see the company
stay open till God knows when. Yeah, you might be fried, gang. You might just have to eat those beans. You might just have to eat those beans and rice and sauce. Deadass, and see what you can concoct up.
Fremlin Dairy, named after David Fremlin, one of the set designers on the show. Lily does her best Bilbo Baggins here, hoarding the dagger for herself. This is the same thing she did a few episodes ago, not letting any of the others touch it. It has a sort of hold over those who possess it. Rose tells us that the dagger does more damage the further it is away from its home being the Niebolt house, under which lays the cave system where the shards were first discovered. Lily wants to go back, believing she'll get them all killed. For the last year, she's felt responsible for her dad's death, and the last thing she wants to do is be responsible for Marge and Ronnie's. The girls eventually smack some sense into her, with Ronnie stating, "This isn't you, you're a lifeboat," a callback to when Lily told them a story about two types of people in this world, anchors and lifeboats. They decide to take turns carrying the dagger as they reach the frozen river.
Don't hand me that dagger, nigga. If I get control over that shit, now listen, obviously. Nah, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. You know what, son? I'm gonna let you slide just because I know y'all around, all y'all niggas around the damn same age. I know the cast. I know they filmed this shit like 12 damn years ago. So I know the cast at least. I think the cast now is like 16, 17, so I'm gonna let you slide, son. I'm gonna let you damn slide. Yeah, right? Through the mattress, eh?
Boats. They decide to take turns carrying the dagger as they reach the frozen river. To their horror, Pennywise has already started his march toward the Deadwood.
I don't give a fuck what anybody talking about. Give me Taylor Page! Come on!
And it's only a matter of time before Pennywise is alerted to their presence. The dagger barely keeps him at bay, but he's able to grab Marge into the fog, where we get two of the episode's biggest reveals. The first is that Pennywise refers to Marge as Margaret Tozier, the future mother of Rich from It Chapter 1. And it makes sense.
I don't even remember It Chapter 2 and these niggas being grown. I feel like I need to rewatch Chapter 2. I might do it one of these Patreon days. I don't know, though. I don't remember Chapter 2. I remember Chapter 1.
Margaret Tozier.
And we're going to discuss Chapter 1 after this video, too.
The future mother of Rich.
We're doing a whole breakdown. Because I need some shit answered. I feel like I know shit. I don't know everything, though. Who's the mother that got hung again? At the end. Which I hope he probably going to explain, but like.
It Chapter 1. And it makes...
I'm trying to figure all of that shit out. For real? Who?
Sense. Like Rich, she uses humor as a defense mechanism, does voices and impressions, and both wear thick Coke bottle glasses.
Stanley.
Rich is most likely named after Rich Santos, who sacrificed himself saving...
First and foremost, before we even get into the character, RP, real life... Hold on, what's his name, bro? I don't even want to call him real life Stanley. Wait. He did. See this? He died in the movie? Nigga, you got me. Wait. Bro. Son. I'm thinking. Hey, bruh. Wait. Did the nigga die in the movie or real life? What's the nigga name? See, I don't remember the movie of It Chapter 2 at all. I don't remember the second movie at all, bro. I seen it once and once only. I don't remember the second movie. I gotta rewatch that second movie, bro. Dead ass.
Glasses. Rich is most likely named after Rich Santos, who sacrificed...
He played Eddie. Hold on, bro. It Chapter 2. James Ransom. RP, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wanted to speak on shit like this, especially the last stream when I first found out when I first found out that hold on. When I first found out Lamar, my fault. I'll check this out. But I wanted to speak on this when I first found out Lamar Wilson passed away. And I already said RIP. I already said RIP, bruh. The Calvin dude into chat last night. Dude said, yo, Barney. I don't know who Calvin is, but I don't know if he's some way correlated to you, but you gotta tell that nigga relax. But as I was saying, though, 2 days ago, I already said RIP Lamar Wilson. But then I didn't know, like, the reason that he died. I thought it was just, like, natural causes or, like, you feel me? Something, like, was wrong. He had something going on in his life that caused that or something like that. It was really, bro. He committed, bro. And it was all through mental health. And now I'm seeing the other dude you just said did the same thing, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. One thing y'all gotta do, bro. Dead ass. Because this is the same way niggas lost Etika. Same way niggas lost James, my fault. James Ransom. I don't want to call him by his actor name. James Ransom. Same way niggas lost Etika, James Ransom, and same way niggas lost recently Lamar. I gotta take care of yourselves, bro. That ass. I gotta take care of yourselves, bro. For real. Real life. Niggas can have all the money in the world, you feel me? And the niggas that always say, how can you do this when they're starving kids in Africa, this, that, and the third? Yes, we know they got money. Yes, they can always help them out and stuff like that. But, bro, just because you got money, bro, that doesn't mean your mental's all the way there, bro. You don't know what someone's going on behind cameras. As soon as they turn that damn camera off, as soon as they turn off that square box right here, you feel me? Not saying me, but I'm saying as soon as they turn off that square box right here in the screen, you never know what the streamer going through. You never know what a YouTuber going through. You never know what an actor going through. You never know what anybody going through, bro, in general. You feel me? And the fact that they sitting there with millions of dollars, but they're on the internet either getting hated on, bashed, talked about bad, or something could just be going on in real life, bro. Y'all always got to make sure, bro, even if y'all got to take a lot of time away, make sure y'all take time away and take care of yourselves, bro. You feel me? This may not always be here, but there's no rush for you getting back when your shit is in the gutter, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. And it's sad that we lost so many niggas due to that shit, bro. Whether they was rich or not, bro. It's just sad because we dead ass lost a lot of niggas due to that shit.
Himself bottle humor mother of Rich
bro.
from It Chapter 1. And it makes sense.
I didn't mean to make it too, you feel me? I just had to say that, especially after you said that about the dude from It Chapter 2.
Britt Tozier.
I didn't mean to make the
future
vibe
mother
like
of
this,
Rich
but,
from
you know.
It Chapter 1. And it makes sense. Like Rich, she uses humor as a defense mechanism, does voices and impressions, and both wear thick Coke bottle glasses.
Now,
Rich
big
is most
question
likely
is,
named after...
Yeah, Rich is definitely Rich. He's definitely named after Rich. Richie's definitely named after Rich. I peeped that. I ain't gonna lie. RP. Legend. Second best character in my personal opinion. Second best behind Dick. Bro.
After Rich Santos, who
Second
sacrificed
best
himself
behind Dick,
saving
bro.
Marge
For
in the
real.
Black Spot Massacre. Pennywise will say,
Legend, nigga.
Margie.
a callback, or should I say call forward, to what he'll taunt Richie with.
Beep, beep, Richie.
But the reveal that has me really excited is how Pennywise perceives time.
Yeah, that's the thing. That nigga's Aaron Yeager, which I'm trying to figure out. Because if this nigga's technically Aaron Yeager, and he can go to the past, the present, and the future, and he knows the past, the present, and the future, if he goes to the past, how the fuck doesn't he technically lose in every verse then? If you think about that? Because if the next chapter is going to be about him going to the past to try to take their parents out or some shit, Marge was talking about it at the end of the episode. If his past is going back to the present, going back to the past, take out their present. God damn, I can't fucking speak. If his plan is to go to the past to take out their parents, I tongue twisted myself like a motherfucker. If his plan is to go to the present, if his plan is to go back to the past to take out the parents, wouldn't that mean that this nigga is just shitty because he couldn't do it? It's not going to the past. It's the concept of time is not a thing to him. Everything is happening at once. Oh, so he dead ass is like on some Aaron Yeager shit.
Him, the past, present, and future are the same.
On some Aaron Yeager
Tomorrow, yesterday, it's all
this
the
week
same.
and next week is the same thing to him. Okay. Now that really now my brain is really fucked up.
Aim for little
Now my brain is really fucked up.
He's
Just trying to
already
know the mind
seen
of
the
this nigga.
events that have played out in the future, and by killing Marge, he hopes to kill the woman that will one day give birth to the man that will kill him. A little bit of a Terminator vibe here. If he can't perceive time, that means he doesn't know when he was born or died. To him, it's the same, and this concept has huge implications for the story to come. For one, it means Pennywise isn't a god at all, rather a prisoner to a closed time loop. He lands, feeds, sleeps, dies, and is born again over and over again. Second, it means the Losers Club victory was both inevitable and therefore meaningless. They were always going to win because it was destined. In Stephen King's Dark Tower series, there's a concept called
Fuck it! I gotta be the nigga to fully put a stop to this nigga.
a wheel.
Somebody
It
gotta
means
do it.
Existence is cyclical. Things
He ain't
happen,
gonna keep
they
responding
fade,
on my
and
watch.
they happen again.
I'm
This
put him out for
concept
good.
explains why some people, like
Who with me?
Halloran,
Who wanna
have
join the
a
team?
shot.
Come on.
If time is a wheel,
We making
things
the new
have
Losers Club,
happened
bro.
over and over again, then on some subconscious
Who gonna
level,
take him out
you
for
have
good?
lived
Somebody
this
gotta do
very
it.
moment
I think I
before.
gotta be the
It's
nigga.
how Dick can see things
go.
that have or will happen
We start at
because
noon,
they have
bro.
happened. It makes sense that
We ride out
Pennywise
at dawn, bro.
personifies himself as a clown because his whole
Tomorrow.
existence is a cosmic joke. The
On the
losers
way to
think they
Maine,
are
bruh.
changing the future by
I know he's
fighting
somewhere
it,
down
but
there.
Pennywise knows they're just acting out a script that the wheel has already written. Think of Pennywise
nobody-
sitting at the hub of this wheel.
fuck.
He doesn't move as the universe spins around him. Humans, however, are strapped to the rim of the wheel, spinning wildly. So the Ka is the wheel concept goes hand in hand with something called Ka-tet, or a group of people bound together by fate to achieve a specific goal. The Losers Club are a textbook example. Fate brought these kids together to complete a turn of the wheel, only for it to repeat once again. The ending of It Chapter 2 suggests that the losers successfully broke the loop. The scars from their blood oath vanish, and the losers no longer forget their memories of Derry. The problem for Pennywise is that he knows his fate. There's just nothing he can do about it. I hope this time thing is something the show starts to smooth out, because I'm sure many of us still have a lot of questions. Even Marge asks, what if Pennywise goes back in time and tries to kill one of her parents? If, for example, Marge's parents died, she'd never be born and could never give birth to Rich, who's pivotal in killing Galoo. With Welcome to Derry ending with a Chapter 1 beside it, and the producers already stating that the next two seasons will take place in 1935 and 1908, both years in Pennywise's cycle, Marge's line about family members hint we'll see even more familial connections linking season to season. But if the losers
that means we
can
getting a
break
whole-
this wheel, does
I'm
that
just
mean...
confused. The only thing I'm really mainly confused about in that shit, though, it's like, bro, I just gotta see how they play this shit out, bro. Dead ass, bro. With this nigga going to all them different timelines, bro. You feel me? Like, each new season is 27 years earlier. I just gotta see how they gonna play it out, bro. We ready to see this nigga lose every time.
Wheel connections linking season to season.
Whoa.
But if the losers can break
Lose.
this wheel, does that mean Pennywise can too? Can he find a weak link in this chain of events that will set him free? That's what I really want to know. Marge is nearly killed by Pennywise when he suddenly
he sleeps
freezes.
at 27.
Dick has successfully tapped into his mind, tricking him into thinking he's back in 1908.
fucking
It's
Dick.
all
I
an
gotta watch The
illusion
Shining,
to
too.
buy them time to get that dagger to the tree. In this vision, Bob was found out in a
Dick was
ditch
the
and
goat.
not eaten by
Shout
a
out
pack
Dick,
of
man.
wolves, as theorized by the carnival barker last episode. And I gotta say, it was pretty hilarious when Pennywise announces he's a god and is instantly bitch slapped. This ruse, however, does not
I
last
do his
long.
ass.
While the brief reprieve allows the school kids to snap out of their trance, Leroy and Taniel grab the dagger when they're shot by the military. Taniel ends up succumbing to his wound, and this is now the second time Leroy's had to hold someone dying in his arms. So Leroy's like, I can't do this, how about I let my kid go? Prompting Will, Lily, Ronnie, and Marge to use the cover of the fog to bury the dagger for good. I do want to say I love this completion of Leroy's character arc. For the entire season, he's felt distant from his son. Will doesn't
That
like
was on
the
some
things
bullshit.
he
I
likes.
ain't
His
gonna lie.
son is more interested in science and nerdy things than sports and fishing. But now he's learned to accept and love his son for who he is and not who he wants him to be. Aww. We've never seen the dagger glow as much as it does in this
That nigga Will
episode's
was talking
epic
crazy in the beginning
climax.
of that one
Sean will
episode,
see the
though. I
frozen
ain't gonna lie.
Pennywise
That
right
little nigga
before
was talking
Pennywise
crazy.
clues into the fact that Dick's gotten into his mind, making for a
You need to
really
relax.
unfortunate reunion. Pennywise remembered how Shaw
You need to
smelled
ta-
and
you
briefly
need to calm
turns
your
into the
old ass
skeleton
down,
man
man.
form before taking a bite out of the general. Meanwhile, Leroy and the gang get the upper hand on the soldiers and start taking pot shots at the clown. This is all in an attempt to
about
slow
put
him
around him on
down.
the damn
He'll
screen.
pop his
Son,
head out like a jack-in-the-box after
gotta get
getting
past
blown
Will first,
up. Kind
motherfucker.
of like the jack-in-the-box which Beverly saw in his lair. But his final form is that of this gruesome, bat-like flying
nigga Will
creature.
put the damn
It doesn't
beats on
quite
it.
line up with the crow creature with balloons attached to its wings that Will is said to have seen after
You know
the
what
Black
Will
Spot
do?
Massacre
Will not
in the
scared of
book.
no damn
However,
clown.
Mike's first
He
encounter
definitely not
with
scared of no damn
Pennywise in the
tiger.
novel describes him as a Rodan kaiju type creature. And not to be that guy, but why didn't Pennywise immediately get into this form and fly out of Derry once the barrier was
Hey,
down?
man.
Dude was mad hungry for some kids. Leroy is hit by the deadlights, and
I
it
thought
looks
was
as though
fried.
Pennywise...
And you know what Hank goddamn black ass gonna do? Just watch this nigga goddamn hawk the ass, bro. He gonna watch this nigga hawk him on some actual hawk shit. Why this nigga got an ARP in his hand just watching?
hungry
Hank
for some
almost pissed me
kids.
off right there.
Leroy is hit by the deadlights, and it looks
Leroy,
as
you
though
putting in work, bro.
Pennywise will actually make it out. That is until Dick sees two figures among the fog. Sesky and my man, the knight
That nigga
himself,
Will, man.
Rich.
The GOAT.
He gives Pennywise the finger and joins his friends, giving them the
fucking
last bit
GOAT.
of strength to place the dagger. Immediately, it casts a beam of light connecting with the other pillars and re-establishing the barrier. Pennywise disintegrates,
was
his
cinematic
face
as hell,
melting
I'm not
into
even gonna lie.
previous forms, like Lily's Pickle Daddy and the baby bat creature from episode 1. We'll see Galoo's orbs flee back to the safety of the sewers, not to reappear until 1988 when Pennywise snatches
Georgie,
Georgie.
man.
Derry's been saved for now. Rich's funeral has a touching eulogy by Marge in which she talks about the meaning of friendship. It's hard to believe they only knew each other for a month. I like the little touch of her adding drumsticks on the casket. Rich is there with them in spirit, even if Dick is the only one who can see him. He tells Rich's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Santos, the hand they feel on their shoulders is their boy, and when they ask who he is, he cryptically replies, "I'm still working on that." Dick has really opened himself up
Dick,
to
man.
others this season. For the most part, he's been a pretty to himself kind of guy. I guess it's hard to make friends when you can reach into someone's mind. But this experience has changed him. He'll even ask Leroy to keep him up to date on what's happening with Will and Charlotte. The last we see Dick, he tells Leroy he's off to London where his buddies got him a job as a cook at a hotel. No doubt
Shining.
setting him up to eventually work at the Overlook some years later. This might also be a nod to the fact that Scatman Crothers, the actor who played Dick Halloran in The Shining, shot most of his scenes in a studio in London. In the It novel, Dick was a cook in the military. Dick might even show up in future seasons, even though they take place in 1935 and 1908. Shining is a psychic ability that connects the mind to the macroverse, and the macroverse is a place where time does not exist. Theoretically, two people from different eras could meet in this macro universe and communicate.
How old
but
is
the
Stephen
lore
King,
makes
bro? That ass. I ain't gonna lie. And when did he start writing? You know, when did Stephen King start writing? Growing older, bro, I'm starting to get real interested in a lot of like books to see where niggas' minds be at, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind reading a book nowadays, not that I'm older. Like, younger me would have hated that shit, dead ass. School me would have dead ass hated that shit. Stephen King started writing as a child, publishing his first short story, I Was a Teenage Grave Robber, in a fanzine around 1965. Writing this shit while on coke, by the way. God damn. Hey, bruh. Some had to get him to that damn point, I guess, with his mind. Some had to push that nigga, bro. Some had to push that nigga to that creative process, I guess. Some. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that was the best way, but you got to think, 1965, that nigga he had no inspiration. This is just straight off the dome and coke.
it clear a direct conversation
This is
across
straight off the
time
Dome and Coke.
would likely snap the user's minds, as our human brains couldn't handle
nothing
it.
to watch
There's
to
an
give him
exception,
inspiration.
however.
Besides
Someone who shines
cable
can
TV.
communicate with someone dead from another time and survive. In Dr. Sleep,
In
adult
gray.
Danny Torrance is able to
In black and
communicate
gray,
with Dick
bruh.
Halloran, who had
Black and
died
white.
years prior. So don't count Dick out appearing in future seasons or his own spin-off. You might have also caught Dick saying au revoir.
Just stopping by to say au revoir.
His past is still shrouded in mystery, and when he first encountered Galoo in episode 3, we got this brief glimpse of Mardi Gras-style masks, making me think he has some connection with New Orleans. New Orleans being a former French colony before it was purchased by the United States. The last we see Marge, she sees one of Rich's paper planes. She'll go on to stay in Derry, later marrying a dentist by the name of Wentworth Tozier, and go on to have Rich.
Wentworth Tozier.
Lily has finally made it to her father's grave. She was lightly chastised by her mother for not visiting, but you can kind of see why, considering she blamed herself for his death. Now she's gotten over it. She's changed, as signified by the little butterfly that lands on the tombstone. She'll go on to remark that everything in Derry looks peaceful from up in the standpipe, like almost nothing ever happened. That's the effect Derry has. People are quick to forget, just like they brushed aside the Black Spot Massacre as an electrical fire. Soon they'll all forget that dozens of children almost floated to their deaths. If the plan from last episode is still in play, Ronnie, her grandmother, and Hank
Taylor
Grogan
Page,
are
man.
off to Canada.
Yeah.
Remember that Hank
That's
was
one of my
pronounced
goats.
dead at the Black
I'm not
Spot
gonna name
after
which
his
rank of
burned
goat she
clothes
is, but
were
she one of
placed
them.
in the remains by Charlotte. Their first stop
Shout out
is
Charlotte,
St.
man.
Stephen, New Brunswick, which shares a border with Calais, Maine. Calais is a location featured in such king works as The Institute, Black House, and the Dark Tower series. Even the name Stephen could be a nod to Stephen King himself. Will and Ronnie finally get to have that kiss. He hopes that
Take
by
it.
continuing to write to her, she won't forget him like most folks who leave town.
son.
We know their love won't last, as Will end up getting married to a Jessica Hanlon and remain in Derry.
Gotta get past
I like
that, young
this
man.
last shot of Ronnie
all
sucking
I'm
on
gonna say.
2 lollipops, echoing the first time we saw her in episode 1. There's a lot of fun callbacks like this in the epilogue, such as the
By the
thank
way,
you for visiting
Tanka
Derry sign in
and
the
Ronnie
final
is the same
episode,
age.
juxtaposed with the welcome
Alright.
to Derry sign in episode 1.
Let you know that
Leroy's
right
been
now.
dishonorably discharged from the military. In
I
fact,
know
he's
everybody
done with the
thinks Tanka's
military
45, he's
entirely.
not.
He's lost his faith in them after everything that's happened, making a deal that if he keeps his mouth shut, they'll let him walk away. Rose asks Leroy and Charlotte to take her farm. After the death of Taniel, the place is too much for her. She also wants them to join her in making sure no one ever tries to reopen the cage. Plus, they know they'll be safe for another 27 years. The Hanlons were originally going to leave, but surprisingly it's Charlotte who wants to stay. Remember, she was always one to
She
never
always
back
wanted to
away
leave,
from a
too.
fight. And now it seems like she and Leroy are on the
I
same
ain't gonna lie.
page to, quote,
Yeah.
take on missions together. Leroy grew up on a farm, so this is perfect for him.
I ain't
In
gonna lie,
fact,
bro. Yeah, it was perfect, yeah, but like 27 years go past. Leroy's still alive. Didn't they say something about Will died in a burning fire or something like that? That's what I heard. That's like the backstory about like Will died in a burning fire and Leroy had to raise Mike.
We'll see
some shit.
Leroy in It Chapter 1 in a delightful scene where he teaches his grandson Mike how to slaughter a sheep with a bolt gun. But I gotta say, the icing on the cake of this already fantastic finale was the tag at Juniper Hill. This is where Ingrid Kirsch,
Arkham
aka
Asylum, man.
Periwinkle's been taken following the events of the Black Spot. She's gone full-on cuckoo talking about how her dad died to wolves. But there's something that calms her, this record. This is the same record that played in her home when Lily visited in episode 6 and appears in her home in It Chapter 2. This is a Danish song from the 1930s and has some pretty creepy lyrics when you think of it in terms of Ingrid's love for her father. It reads, "It is the loveliest thing I know to think of you, and all my deep love I will forever bestow
Man, all
upon you.
these
To be
Easter
loved
eggs,
by you
man.
must be a wonderful dream
I
to
ain't gonna
carry.
lie, bro.
Give me your heart, and I promise
I want to know that. I really want to know the whole Arkham Asylum thing with Beverly and shit like that. Who is?
you will get mine in return." Fast
I know
forward
she's
26
the old lady right here. I know.
years
I know
to
Ingrid Kirsch is the old
1988.
lady.
This is shortly before the events of It Chapter 1. We're still with Mrs. Kirsch, who's now 88 years old. She's
Damn.
painting her hand as Periwinkle touching her father, an
Wait.
image which was seen in episode
27 years later, she's 88. Man, what the hell? Was she not? Did she not look like she was like 30 something? Miss Kirsch, did she not look like she was 30 something when she was talking to Lily? Throughout those 8 episodes?
Episode 7. Screaming alerts her to
Hell
commotion
no.
down the
Hey,
hall.
hey.
There, Elfrida Marsh, mother to Beverly Marsh, has committed suicide, an event which frames
so
much of Beverly's
that's
story
none of the
in
kids.
It Chapter 1.
I was trying to figure
we'll
that
even
out.
see her trying
I don't
to
know why.
comfort her father, who pushes her away. Ingrid says her staple line, "You know what they say about Derry."
Okay, never mind. I said 30. Okay, yeah, I kind of see like the 50 or 60 age now, and I see the wrinkles. She's trying to keep herself young. Okay, that makes sense. Have I seen her before? Like, I feel like she played in other scary movies as a grandma. Besides It.
No one who dies here ever really dies. The same thing she said to Lily in episode 6. There is a theory out there that Elfrida Marsh is Lily Bainbridge, who grew up, changed names, and became Beverly's mom. There is a heart...
That's what I was trying to figure out, bro. I'm like, because Mars said they're kids, right? Will's son's Mike. Mars' son's, Richie. What about Ronnie and goddamn Lily, though? They just go off their own separate way? No connection at all to them at all? Nothing whatsoever? Their
Alvin
own
Marsh,
story?
Beverly Dad's graffiti in the girls' washroom. But let me know what you think. The actress who plays older Mrs. Kirsch is the same actress who plays her in It Chapter 2. I personally think that the Mrs. Kirsch we see in Chapter 2 isn't real at all. She'd be 116 after all. But now that we know the real Mrs. Kirsch was there the day Elfrida died and Beverly saw her, that might just be the form Pennywise took to spook her. That creepy old lady she met the day her mother died. Let's take a moment to talk about this photo showing Pennywise's wife that's been making the rounds on Twitter. I can confirm that this is real, and the source is the actress who plays young Periwinkle's Instagram account. But we never see Ingrid's mom in the show. What's the deal? I think there are two possible answers. Either they shot a few scenes for future seasons of the show, or she was simply cut from the final edit. This is something I hope the producers will address, as I think it would have been really cool to see Pennywise's wife. As of the writing of this video, a season 2 has not been confirmed. However, both ratings and reception of the show have been good, so I really hope it's a go. It's supposed to be set in 1935 and feature the Bradley Gang Massacre.
Keep going back
but now I turn it over to you. What did you think of It Welcome to Derry? I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below.
It was great. Real thing I was really trying to think about is, was the girl hanging herself at the end Lily? Because they say no. And Beverly has her own mom and shit like that. But, like, I'm really trying to put two and two together here where Mara said their kids are the ones that beat them. Talking to Lily, talking about their kids specifically. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if that was supposed to be like a little Easter egg type shit. You feel me? Or that's actually someone completely different and that's not Lily. And Lily did not change her name to, what did he say? Englewood or some shit? Englewood? Hold on. Who is Beverly mom? Elfrida Marsh. Elfrida Marsh. Okay. Elfrida Marsh. Now is Elfrida Marsh Lily. See, I don't feel like watching a whole another video about figuring out. I'll watch that off stream, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie, but someone gotta explain that to me, bruh. Niggas was goddamn referencing, Lily changed her name to Elfrida. Elfrida, though? From Lily? But that's besides the point. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out off stream, though. I don't know, though. I don't know, my nigga. I got questions, bro. Dead ass, bro. I got a lot of questions. Because there's no possible way they just left two kids and just said, fuck them. Ronnie and Lily. There's no way they just left those two specific out. Especially Lily. Because she been through it all. And Ronnie, technically, too. She seen it all, too. What's up, bro? She's seen it all, too, though. You know what I'm trying to say? Lily and Ronnie are the two specific ones that seen it all. But you're telling me they have no correlation to the movies? You know Christmas coming up and all. What you need, man? Some socks? $15? Listen here, family. Don't ask me for no damn scuff controller. That's damn $239 damn dollars. Alright? I ain't your damn daddy. I can help you out with a little something. Can I get a raise? You know what? I might just give y'all niggas a raise, bro. You know what? I'm gonna be generous. 2026 raises will be starting, bro. The first pay grade of mods will start going out 2026. Mark my words. I'm not gonna tell y'all what day. I'm not gonna tell y'all when. Y'all just gonna start getting random pay cuts. Random pay cuts one day. It's just gonna start coming in. I promise y'all niggas. Y'all can mark my words. How much we talking? Hold on. See, we can't push it too much now. Alright? When you first get a job, they start you off on the lower side of things until you work there for a very long time, then they start upping you. So we're gonna start off somewhere, and then we just gonna go from there. We're gonna start somewhere, depending how 2026 looks. We're gonna start somewhere. I ain't gonna lie. Depending how many of the right buttons I push, we gonna start somewhere. I don't know where, but we're gonna start somewhere.